Pasebike P20 Pro is the latest electric bike offering equipped with a torque sensor. In today's review, we'll discover together how the bike performs in practice, what its pros and cons are, and whether it is worth buying. At the outset, I should mention that I received the bike directly from the manufacturer, Pasebike. Thank you for supporting my channel and blog. I also invite you to subscribe and to browse the playlists where I test similar bikes, share riding impressions in shorts, or assemble various things. All links, including a discount code for this bike, are in the description. Let's get started. First impressions and assembly. The Pasebike P20 Pro belongs to the family of urban folders. You can find many frames of this type on the market, but, as always, the devil is in the details and solutions used. Why urban folder? The bike folds in half, wheel to wheel. There is a special hinge in the middle of the frame and another at the handlebar stem, making storage and transport easier. For example, when you want to drive out of town for a picnic and take your e-bikes along. Like every e-bike, the P20 Pro arrives in a large box for final assembly. Pasebike has already spoiled me. With their bikes, I have the least work. This time too, the process was trouble-free because the rack and lighting are factory integrated. All I had to do was take everything out of the box, remove the transit protectors, fit the handlebar, front wheel, and pedals. The last step is mounting the front mudguard and headlight. If you plan to ride mainly off public roads, Pasebike includes a separate throttle for pure electric mode, which, combined with the torque sensor, adds a lot of fun and flexibility. The throttle can also be disabled in the controller menu. The kit also contains a pump, multi-tool, phone mount, charger, battery, and a front basket. During assembly, I had only a minor task: slightly realign the front disc brake caliper, which had been tightened at a slight angle, and rub the rotor. 5 minutes of adjustment solved it. The bike has full lighting, including a brake light. The front lamp is the same model as on the Duot C29. Perfectly adequate, though I have grown used to lens-type lights. My first impression was positive. I expected glossy black paint as shown in the shop photos, but in reality it is a matte black that looks outstanding. I like the small details such as white lettering with red accents. The whole package looks sporty and turns heads in the street. There is no feeling that it's a kid's bike. Riders of any age can use it confidently. I wasn't convinced by the saddle though. It is thick but rather firm, and there is no suspension seat post. The main section of the handlebar is not fixed with a classic clamped stem. Instead, Pasebike uses a centrally positioned clip. That's not a bad idea, but the manual tells you to mount the pass display in the center as well, and that gave me trouble. I had to shorten the rubber shims so the included bolts would reach the clamp. Mounting the display on the clip makes that clip completely inaccessible. Any adjustment on the road is impossible without removing the display. Ultimately, I moved the display to the side and recommend you do the same. If you want to watch the full assembly video, the link is in the description. Pasebike P20 in numbers. Before we dive into real-world riding, let's focus on the manufacturer's promises and what you can expect. The battery capacity is 23 amp hours. The rear hub motor provides up to 1000 watts peak power and, interestingly, carries no markings that would reveal its output. The electrical system runs on 48 volts. Charging to full takes 6 hours. In pass mode, the bike can cover 60 to even 100 kilometers per charge. Both wheels have hydraulic disc brakes. We roll on 20-inch alloy mag wheels with fat 4-inch tires. Assist system, how it works on the P20. The P20 Pro uses an upgraded assistance system. Unlike, for example, the Vacole Y20 Pro, which I reviewed earlier, the Pasebike features an advanced torque sensor. It relies on strain gauges mounted inside the bottom bracket axle. Microscopic metal deformations that occur when you press the pedals are converted by a microcontroller into an exact force value. The drive electronics compare that reading with the selected assist level and in a split second deliver motor power proportional to your input. The harder you pedal, the more watts you get. As a result, the bike accelerates smoothly and instantly, without the lag typical of simple cadence sensors that react only to crank rotation and switch the motor on or off. The effect is a natural ride feel, better traction control on climbs, lower energy consumption, the motor works exactly as much as needed, and longer range on a single charge. The torque sensor also boosts safety in city traffic because the assistance cuts the moment you ease pressure, not after the crank finishes a full turn as in cadence-only systems. In other words, the bike behaves like a regular bicycle, not a scooter. Pasebike also supplies a separate throttle for pure electric mode, but installation is entirely up to the user. Be aware this solution is not fully legal within the European Union, where a throttle is allowed only up to 6 km per hour for walk assist. In practice, the P20 Pro, thanks to its torque sensor, rides very naturally but can also tire you out. If you need a sudden burst of power, just press harder on the pedals and you get an immediate boost. With the bike limited to 25 km per hour, this is very pleasant. After removing the speed lock, you can spur the bike up to about 45 km per hour in such a burst. Impressive for a relatively small machine. What I liked. In everyday use, the bike stands out with a compact layout where nothing protrudes beyond the frame and the cables are neatly hidden. The hydraulic brakes provide excellent feel and stopping power. A full squeeze easily lifts either wheel off the ground, yet modulation is intuitive. The spring front fork effectively smooths urban speed bumps, so hands and back stay relaxed, and the upright riding position remains comfortable even on longer routes. The large 23 amp-hour battery combined with the torque sensor delivers around 80 to 90 km on one charge, with assistance that is both natural and responsive, mild on level 1, truly lively on higher settings. Poking around the controller, I even changed the default 3 assist levels to 5 or 9. I also like the display, it is clear and boots almost instantly. The pass control buttons are big, easy to press, and can be positioned close to your thumb, far better than on the Vacole Y20. A big plus is the easy adjustment of the top speed limit. Leave it at 25 km per hour, reduce it or raise it at will, so I can tailor the bike to my needs. Installing the throttle lets me use the motor independent of PAS, which I enjoy. The styling appeals to me too, and the low step-over frame makes mounting easy for riders of different ages, heights and weights. What I didn't like. Not everything is perfect. The front brake, though powerful, has a very soft lever and squeals loudly under hard braking. Lever bite point is not adjustable. The lack of a suspension seat post and the fairly firm, not so ergonomic saddle become noticeable after a few dozen kilometers. Some components are not perfectly fitted. The battery is hard to remove. This is another bike I test with such a design, and the side protruding key bothers me in every model that uses it. You cannot ride with the key removed, yet it sticks out. My biggest complaint concerns the folding handlebar mechanism. The riveted hinge has an irritating play of a few centimeters. After some tens of kilometers, every time I pushed hard on the pedals and instinctively pulled on the bars, I felt them wobble on the closed hinge. Nothing like this happens on the Vacole Y20, so it's purely the hinge type, and there is no way to adjust it out. I asked one viewer who owns this bike. He confirmed the issue, though he said the play is barely noticeable. During the final shots for this review, I wanted to show the folding process. Dust got into the frame hinge release clip and I couldn't slide it to unlock. I had to blow it out thoroughly and wipe it with a microfiber cloth to restore movement. In addition, the front basket is long and deep, a plus, but it hinders fully folding the bike. It's also worth mentioning the centrally mounted display, which I advise moving to the side. In the middle, it blocks access to the handlebar angle latch and complicates mounting. When I took a light off-road ride, the clip bolts loosened and the bars began to rotate. I couldn't fix it on the trail because I had no tools with me to remove the display and reach the latch. Consequently, despite solid performance, the 32 kilogram frame, up to 39 kilograms with accessories, can be awkward to handle and needs a few tweaks to meet expectations fully. Pasebike, however, is known for responding quickly to user feedback and rapidly implementing improvements, so check whether your unit has handlebar play. Summary. Pasebike P20 Pro is a 20-inch urban folder. Its large battery and assist system let you rack up close to 100 kilometers per charge, an excellent result. The torque-based assistance gives a truly bicycle-like feel. In my view, that's how e-bike support should work. Many people buy bikes with the cheapest cadence systems and end up disappointed because the ride feels more like a scooter. On the Pasebike P20, the assist is pure pleasure, and if you accept the legal risk, adding the throttle turns the bike into a versatile machine for many scenarios, delivering plenty of riding joy. When buying, consider swapping the seat post for a suspension model or fitting a softer saddle. That will greatly improve long-distance comfort. My only major gripe is the folding handlebar system. Its play is noticeable while riding and bothers me personally, and it's a feature I will never use. I suspect most of you won't either. Otherwise, at a price of €1,050 with my coupon and free shipping from an EU warehouse, the bike is a bargain for a model with a torque sensor, punchy motor and hydraulic brakes. Thanks a ton for sticking around to the very end. If you made it this far, drop a comment, give the video a thumbs up, and consider subscribing. It really boosts the channel and helps me line up more cool gear for independent reviews. You'll find a direct link to the store in the description below. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!